My name is Deanne Hupfield. I'm from Temagami First Nation. I teach powwow dancing and I teach regalia making. I grew up in Northern Ontario and I remember my mom taking me to my very first powwow, and I must have been like maybe 6 or 7 years old. And I remember walking into the arena with my mom holding her hand. I remember seeing the drums and people dancing. And there was this one woman dancing and she was spinning. And to me, she was like the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. And I was like, Mom, I want to learn to dance. Teach me to dance. And my mom, she looked down at me and she said, I'm sorry, Deanne, I can't teach you that. I didn't learn that growing up. When I grew up, I learned that the reason why my mom couldn't teach me was because she was a part of the 60s scoop. And most of my grandparents and my great-grandparents all went to Indian residential school. And over time, those women shared with me why dancing is important. Because of my mom's negative experience in the 60s scoop, I grew up in poverty, and my family has a lot of intergenerational trauma. And I was sent to juvie when I was 13. And in Thunder Bay, 90% of the kids in juvie were all Native kids. So they sent us to this program called the New Experience Program. And it was run by an Indigenous social worker. He would have these circles and he would stand in the middle and he would tell stories of like a good life. He took me under his wing and he took me to powwows. He helped me make my first regalia. It was through that process of learning to make my regalia that I was able to like survive poverty and addictions and intergenerational trauma. And I was able to like physically move my body through the trauma that I carried. I danced jingle dress when I was little. Now I dance fancy shawl and jingle. In Canada, we have like very similar styles. Like we have jingle, fancy shawl, traditional. If you go more southern US states, like there's so much varieties. Like there's so many different nations across Turtle Island. In Six Nations, like they have the Haudenosaunee people, and they have their longhouse and they have their smoke dance. So like they have different stories, different songs, different regalias. I've been teaching powwow dance in my community now for like almost 20 years. I started my first dance class when I was like 19 years old. I had already felt the benefits of dancing, and I had already seen the chaos and the hurt in my community, and I wanted to show my community like, look, dancing, like this is really healing and this is like a good way of life. Growing up, it was so hard. We faced so much racism. We faced so much discrimination in the school system. I struggled with addictions since I was 12 years old. Dancing for me was a way to return to my culture, to live my life in a good way, because so much people from my community didn't survive. When I started my dance classes, I just wanted to create safe spaces for people to come and learn about powwow dancing, because I saw there was so much people like me who didn't grow up with access to their own culture. So I just wanted to create safe spaces.